Hey everyone, so welcome to the very first episode of Cookies Not So Secret Diary, and this is where I share with you some of my personal journeys and things that I have going on in my life. And today I want to share with you my journey with ovarian failure or ovarian dysfunction. And I'm going to give you guys a little timeline. I'm going to let you know what has been going on with my life as regards to that. And, just to bring awareness to that situation. A lot of people are going to say, why are you sharing your personal business online? Because I can. And because I know that there are so many other women out there suffering with diseases or, different complications. And sometimes people don't know what it is. Also, sometimes people are afraid or ashamed of sharing. I am not. I know exactly what is going on with me, and I just want to bring awareness to it and, let people know that, number one, it's impolite to go around asking people why they're not having kids. And number two, it is just disrespectful to assume that people are fat because they're greedy or just because they like to eat, which is not the case. So in my case, I suffer with something called ovarian failure, and that is when your ovaries stop producing eggs at a very young age. It mostly happens to women in their 30s, but it can happen to teenagers and young people, young adults, young women, and it's not something that you can kind of see coming. It just happens. So yeah. So that is where I am at in my life. Let me first say that from ever since I've known myself, as far back as I can remember, I've never wanted to have kids, not interested in kids. I've never seen my life with kids. So not having kids is a life choice. I've always said that if anything, I might adopt or anything. So this journey for me is not a sad one. I'm not looking for sympathy. I'm not looking for anybody to be sorry for me. I just want to share to bring awareness to the situation, as well as to bring some peace and some comfort, or there are people out there who might relate to my situation, because there are a lot of women who are suffering under the same circumstances, and they probably don't know that they have support out there. I'm a little bit closer to the road today, so you'll hear vehicles passing every now and then. I apologize for that, but yeah. Yeah, so I do suffer with ovarian failure. It started when I was a teenager. I was misdiagnosed with PCOS because I have all the symptoms of PCOS, where, I'm gaining weight, I have facial hair, I have darkening of my neck, my cheeks, like I have skin discoloration and all of that. So when you see in my videos that my neck is a lot darker than my face, sometimes I try to cover it up with makeup. Sometimes I don't really care because it's a symptom of a disease that I'm suffering with. So I don't really care. People's opinion don't bother me that much. And yeah, so when I was at the age of 16 or something like that, first of all, I first started getting really bad stomach pains when I was 11 years old. I remember it was my graduation from primary school to go to secondary school. I live in the Caribbean, so that's how we term it, primary and secondary. And the pain was horrible. And I had a sister-in-law at that time, my brother's girlfriend, ex-girlfriend, told me to, breathe in, breathe out. And we were doing breathing exercises that, pregnant people would do when they're in labor. And that helped a lot. So throughout the years, whenever I started feeling that pain, I would do those exercises. And it would come on and off. Sometimes I wouldn't get that pain for years, like lower stomach pain, like cramping. It was really, really bad. And I'm not the type of person to, run to my mommy and daddy and say, let's go to the doctor. I'm not that type of person. It has to be really, really intense or really, really bad for me to finally get up and say, you know what, I need to go to the doctor. So I didn't go to the doctor early, and I suffered with this pain for years without telling anyone. When I was about 16, I'd finished secondary school. By the way, all throughout that time, I had not gotten my period, never had a menstrual cycle before. My parents are not the type of people who, they grew up in an era where things were not discussed. So they didn't bring up those conversations. They provided us with the resources so that we can learn about our life, our bodies, or whatever, sending us to schools, They gave us all the resources so that we learn things on our own, but they never sat down and have conversations with us, which I have forgiven them for, because you know they grew up in a time where speaking about sex and all of that is taboo, so they never did it. And okay, that is life, it happens. So yeah, when I was 16, I started getting really bad stomach pain, and I started, you know, throwing up, and I was really, really sick, and my mother or father, somebody took me to the doctor, and at that time I was diagnosed with PCOS. I was also going to the university as well, St. George's University at the time, because yeah, I went to university really young. I started university really young, and I also went to the doctors there, and they informed me that I had PCOS as well. But they told me that in order to control that, and like, you know, I have to regulate my weight, as well as start taking birth control pills. Any kind of medication makes me really sick. It makes me want to throw up. It makes me nauseous. So I did not agree to it. I did not start treatment. I just stopped going to the doctor because I did not want to be on medication. I made that decision on my own, and I dealt with my pain, my stomach pains, for a lot of years. Never went back to the doctor. At one point in time, I was hospitalized for like 2 or 3 weeks, and they told me that that my ovaries are swelling, and you know, but they couldn't identify anything that was really causing all the pain that I was having, which is crazy to me. There are several times outside of that I did go to the hospital, and they diagnosed me with UTI. They said that I need to drink more water, which is not humanly possible, because as I'm sitting here, I have a bottle of water right next to me. I have water with me all the damn time. I drink water. I take in water like a tank. So I don't think it was possible to drink more water. I couldn't understand why I would get a UTI if I'm drinking so much water. But anyway, I was getting the pain, and it was horrible, and I was feeling so sick. I was throwing up. I was, you know, I could barely walk and all of that, like lower abdominal pain, really bad cramping and all of that. And over the years, I did get some spotting. Like, you know, I would see spots of blood. Occasionally, I would get some really big chunks of clot blood, which was scary, but... And at a certain point in time, I started to wonder if I had cervical cancer, and the doctors were just not testing for it. So I said that I'm not going to the doctor in general. It's only until recently I went to the doctor and found out. So all this time I wasn't getting pregnant and nothing was happening. All of that, I kept gaining weight. People would meet me in the streets and tell me, oh, you need to stop eating all that sugary foods, and you need to stop eating, you know, snacks, and you need to cut out snacks, and you need to cut out drinking soft drink. First of all, I don't drink soft drinks. I don't drink sodas. I don't drink juice. I drink a lot of water. A lot. And when I say a lot, I mean a lot. Water is my go-to drink. I drink tons and tons of water. So that's number one. So people were disrespectful, out of place and out of time, and I had to put a few people in their place. I don't eat snacks. Well, I didn't used to. I just didn't like it. I just don't like sodas. I just don't like juice. It's not something that I just don't like drinking tea in the morning. I'm not the type of person that would wake up and say I need some tea, or I want a soda, or I feel to drink some juice. I just don't drink it. It's not something that I do. I drink water. I wake up in the morning, I drink some water. I drink some water again after that. I drink water, I drink water, I drink water. Like, I constantly drink water. So yeah, people were just disrespectful, telling me that I need to lose weight, you know. Well, not that I need to lose weight, but I need to stop eating sugary foods and all of that because I'm gaining too much weight. But I knew that I was having an issue with my hormones as well. So I knew that it was a combination of things that was making my neck get darker, making me grow like excessive facial hair, and I'm actually a really hairy person, and all of these things. So I knew what was going on. I had an idea of what was going on with me. I just wasn't taking treatments for it. And recently I went to the doctor again because the pain got really intense, and at this point in time, like, I couldn't take it anymore. So I went to the hospital first. They gave me medication for again, UTI or infection. They give me, what's the word I'm looking for, antibiotics, and told me to take that. That would make me feel better. It didn't. I continued to get pain. When the pain got really, really bad, I went to another private doctor, and then I was more accurately diagnosed with ovarian failure. And that is when I learned that this might have happened since I was a teenager. So since I went to the doctors like when I was 16, 17, and I was told that I have PCOS, even if I had a few eggs at that time, that was just not releasing itself, so I wasn't getting my menstrual cycle at the time. Right after that, I suffered with ovarian failure. That is why I got bleeding sometimes, or drops of blood and all of that, and severe pain. But when I did ultrasounds and all of that recently, there are absolutely no follicles, no eggs, nothing, like absolutely nothing. Outside of that, my uterus is healthy, everything else is healthy. I just cannot produce eggs. So what I suffered is early menopause. So I suffered I suffered ovarian failure since I was either like my late teens or early 20s, and I didn't know it because I wasn't going to the doctors, because I didn't want to take medication. I didn't want to take birth control, because I think that birth control is the thought of it at the time. That was my thought process at the time. Why would I take medication to get my menstrual cycle and then block myself from getting pregnant? I already don't want to have kids. I'm not interested in, that sort of thing. So why would I want a menstrual cycle if I don't want kids? And why would I want to take, people usually are happy to have their menstrual cycle every month so that they are sure they don't have kids. Why would I want to go through that? And birth control pills usually make some people have said they smell funny, they've gained weight. Like, some birth control comes with so many different side effects. Why would I want to put myself through that? It just wasn't making sense to me. So, I decided I wasn't going to do it. But when I went to the doctor recently, I'm now in my 30s, and I basically didn't have a choice. So I started taking medication for my hormones and all of that, because I also suffer with hypothyroidism. So the hypothyroidism actually caused the ovarian failure. And I was actually diagnosed with hypothyroidism when I went to the doctor in the university when I was 16. So I did get that diagnosis, and apparently it just got worse over time because I did not take treatment for it. It got worse, and it caused the ovarian failure, because that causes the thyroid is responsible for your metabolism, your hormones and all of that. And since I wasn't producing hormones as I should, I wasn't able to create eggs. Suffered ovarian failure, did not know, continued to, take the pain and not take the treatment, and that is where I'm at today. So it's not a situation where I'm down and I'm out and I'm sad and I'm crying. I am not. I am okay with my diagnosis. I am happy that I understand and I know what exactly is happening with my body, and I have taken treatment for it, and I haven't gotten any pain since. Thank God for that, by the way. I mean, come on. I don't have really bad depression. I haven't had any really bad, breakdowns or anything within the last year or so, which is amazing to me, and all of that. So my point is, when you see people, you see them, you see that they're gaining weight, you see that, they have facial hair, we want to laugh at them, we want to point at them. It's usually something more going on, and we just don't know what it is. So I urge you to be more kind to people, have a little bit more respect for people. You have no idea what their journey is, you have no idea what they're suffering, you have no idea what's going on with them. Be more kind to people, because you have no idea what their bodies what their body is experiencing at the time. My stomach got bigger, so I have a really high tummy, and I'm not ashamed of it. Would I like to have a flat stomach? Absolutely. I have tried exercising. I started, but I'm lazy. Point blank period. I'm just lazy. It takes a lot out of me to wake up in the morning and say, okay, I'm exercising. I've gotten so comfortable with my weight that it's hard for me to exercise, or when the doctor says you have to lose such and such amount of weight, it's hard for me to do it because I am comfortable with my body. I don't struggle. I don't feel heavy. I don't feel, because I've always had size and all of that. So it pisses me off when people constantly ask me, when you're making a child and when you're giving the man a child and all of that, and oh, you have to bring something into the world. Like, get the hell out of here. You have no idea what's going on in my life. I'm not going to tell you that. But you need to, have some respect. Respect people's boundaries. Stop asking people if they're pregnant. Stop asking people when they're having a baby. Stop asking people weird random questions that is not your fucking concern. People's personal business, a woman's personal business is not your own. It is between her and the person that she's married to, in a relationship with, and whoever she chooses to share her personal experience with. It is not your concern. I think that a lot of people get twisted and they want to ask people, they want to apply pressure. Oh, so you're not having a baby until you have to bring something into. No, I don't. No, I don't. Okay, biblically speaking, the purpose of a woman's journey in life, as you would say, is to have kids, be fruitful and multiply. But if God has not made it possible for that woman to do that, leave them alone. If you want to break it down in a biblical sense. Also, if someone just does not want to have kids, which has been my thing my entire life. I don't want to have kids. I'm not interested in having kids. I've told whoever I've been with that if you want to have kids, I am not the one to do it for you. I'm also not interested really in relationships with people who have kids. I just don't have the energy or anything like that, or the mental capacity for it, like to deal with it every day, to deal with children and all that comes with it every single day. I don't want to. And as long as I don't want to, I don't have to, and I will not. So people need to mind their business. And if you are suffering with ovarian failure, or you know someone who has or who did, it takes a toll on your body. You feel really, really sick sometimes. Like there's a lot of symptoms to it that can be very, very, very daunting. But once you get the correct treatments for your hormones and all of that, things will get better. I mean, once your body has gone through menopause, it has already gone through menopause. There's no backtracking. So it's not like if you're going to take medications that's going to make it better. There's no cure. There's no that you can only treat your hormones so that you feel better and so that your body kind of regulates itself. But there's no going back. So it's not something that's reversible. It has already happened. That's like somebody that's that's middle-aged, a woman that's middle-aged that has gone through menopause. She's not going backwards. Her periods are not just going to start coming again, and she's not going to just start having babies again. It doesn't work like that. So early menopause or ovarian failure is something that happens, and it has happened to me, unfortunately, and that is just the situation, and that is what it is right now. And I've accepted that. So this is not a pity party. Don't make it into one, but it's just to bring awareness to the things that people go through and the things that women go through daily that people know nothing about, when they're body shaming, when they're putting us down, when they're being disrespectful, when they're being rude, and they have no idea what's going on with us or what's going on with our lives or our bodies, right? So I want you guys to be kind to people. Stop asking them foolish questions. Mind your business. And also, ladies, if you're having issues, remember to visit your doctor. I'm trying my best to keep up with my appointments or to keep up with my tests and all of that so that I can get better. So now I can tell people, make sure they go to the doctor, because I feel like, I'm making progress now. I'm finally being an adult. But yeah, do what you need to do to be safe and to protect yourself and all of that, right? So be blessed, guys. Drink lots of water. Always mind your business. Take care of your mental health. Take care of your physical health. See what's going on with your body. All of that. Stay on top of things. Don't be like me and say you're strong enough and you can deal with the pain and spend all 20 something years without going to the doctor for that specific thing, right? All right. Stay blessed. Take care.